Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki Durlabhamanasho Deho Dehinam Shanabhangurai Tatrapi Durlabham Manye Vaikuntha Priyadarshinaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Katha Prashna Purusham Strin Punatihi Vaktaram Pritchakam Shrotrams Tatpada Salilam Yatha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipful devotees, thank you again for joining, for giving your wonderful association to read here Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, entitled The Advent of Lord Śrī Krishna. This is the introduction, the very first chapter. We read till text number 63 yesterday, and we were discussing that what is difficult for a devotee. What is difficult? In short, nothing is difficult. Prabhupada said, impossible is a word in fool's dictionary. Those who have taken shelter, text number 58 is an important one. Everything is important, but it's just like a memory verse too. Those who take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, what cannot be given up by them for the sake of the Supreme Lord? In short, they can go to any extent. They can do whatever it takes to please Krishna, to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So nothing is difficult for them because Krishna is always there with them. So that's where we read till text 63. We'll move on to the next verse today, which is 64. Hare Krishna. So let's start with the 64 today. Okay. Etat Kamsaya Bhagavan Jashams Abhyeta Narada Bhumir Bharaya Mananam Nityaṁ cha Vadhodyamam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Once the great Saint Narada approached Kamsa and informed him of how the demoniac persons who were a great burden on the earth were going to be killed. Thus, Kamsa was placed into great fear, doubt. Purport. It has already been discussed that Mother Earth implored Lord Brahma to give her relief from distress created by the burdensome demons. And Lord Brahma informed her that Lord Krishna himself was going to appear. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 4.8, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever there is a burden created by the demons and whenever the innocent devotees are distressed by demoniac rulers, the Lord appears in due course of time to kill the demons with the assistance of his real representatives, who are technically called demigods. In the Upanishads, it is stated that the demigods are different parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as it is the duty of the parts of the body to serve the whole body. It is the duty of Krishna's devotee to serve Krishna as he wants. Krishna's business is to kill the demons, and therefore this should be a devotee's business also. Because the people of Kali Yuga are fallen. However, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of kindness for them, did not bring any weapon to kill them. Rather, by spreading Krishna consciousness, love for Krishna, he wanted to kill their nefarious demoniac activities. This is the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement. Unless the demoniac activities on the surface of the world are diminished or vanquished, no one can be happy. The program for the conditioned soul is fully described in the Bhagavad Gita, and one simply has to follow these instructions to become happy. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu has therefore prescribed Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatir anyatha. Let people chant the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra constantly, then their demoniac tendencies will be killed and they will become first-class devotees, happy in this life and the next. Wow. Such a brilliant verse and purport. So the context here is that when Vasudev's first son, named Kirtiman, was born, he kept his words. Vasudev kept his words and came to Kamsa. Hey Kamsa, I promised that I will bring my children. And Kamsa was amazed. Wow. Who wants to give up their child in the hands of death? No one. But Kamsa was really amazed by the character of Vasudev. But Vasudev also knew that evil people can change their mind anytime. Like Kamsa changed their mind immediately and was wanting to kill. On one hand, he was trying to serve Devaki by being the chariot driver. On the other hand, he was trying to kill Devaki very next moment. So Vasudev knew that Kamsa's mind could change. And to make things expedite the appearance of the Lord, Narada Muni comes on the scene. And he tells Kamsa, hey, do you know what I have heard in the upper planets? That all these demigods who are your enemies, they have started to take birth in this earth. And the demons on the earth, the demonic people, in short, like you, will be destroyed. So Kamsa was very afraid of this news. And Narada Muni, although Narada Muni is like a transcendental trickster. One devotee used this word, transcendental trickster. But the whole purpose is to serve the Lord. And here a very nice line is mentioned. The duty of the parts of the body is to serve the whole body, right? For example, hand is supposed to serve the legs are supposed to serve the body. Serve the whole machine. Similarly, the jiva's purpose is to serve the business of the Lord. Krishna's business is to kill the demons, and therefore this should be the devotee's business to also. That means to kill the demons. Right? Should that be devotee's business? What do you think, Sampradaya? To kill the demons? Right? That's what is written here. You see? Therefore, there should be devotee's business also. In short, to kill the demons. Right? That's what we read. But Lord Chaitanya, the next line is important. Yes, Lord Chaitanya has specially come to kill the demoniac propensity. That's real killing. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagye Sankirtana Prayir Yajanti Hi Sumitasa. Lord Nrsimhadev came with his weapons of nails and ripped apart the demon Hiranyakashipu. Lord Ram came with his bow and arrow and killed the evil Kamsa, Ravana. Right? Like that, Krishna comes in different yugas and kills different demons by different weapons. In that same Supreme Personality, Śrī Krishna Caitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, the same Supreme Lord, Shri Radha Krishna, come together as Lord Chaitanya with the Sango Pangastra Parshadam, with his weapon of holy name. This Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra is his weapon. And it kills the demoniac propensity within. Like so many people who were into all sorts of demoniac habits like meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and so on. These are very demoniac habits, low class, Kamsa-like habits. But they took to the process of bhakti, chanting the holy names, and the demon within is killed. This is the real mission of the Lord in this Kali Yuga. And devotees must assist in this mission. How? By sharing Krishna consciousness. Through prasadam, through books, through holy name, through inviting them to temples, programs, Bhagavad Gita, classes, etc. Being a good friend. So many ways we can share Krishna consciousness, because anything in connection to Krishna has the same effect. And so the demons inside will be killed. Therefore, one must share. This is the business of the devotee. Prabhupada is clearly, and therefore His Grace Visheshika Prabhu has written a book named Our Family Business. Our Family Business. Very nice book. And the whole point over there is two main things. One is to intensify one's sadhana, and the next point is to share the process of Krishna consciousness through books, through holy name, etc. And that's first, this is a real killing of the demon within. Because in this day and age, the demonic propensity, the nefarious propensities are sitting within our hearts. So, and then they will become first-class devotees. Last line of the purport. When the demonic tendencies are killed, first-class devotees. And they will be happy. Everyone wants to be happy in this life and the next. The process is very simple. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Any thoughts? Nice purport. Any comments, additions? Okay. Who didn't get a chance? Yes, can read first. Yes. They probably want to read.
Your Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees and Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Text number 65-66. Raser vinigame kamso yadun matva suran iti devakya garbha sambhutam vishnum chasva vadam prati devakim vasudevam cha nigrahe nigadhergre jatam ahan putram tayor agna sankaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After the departure of the great saint Narada, Kamsa thought that all the members of Yadu dynasty were demigods, and that any of the children born from the womb of Devaki might be Vishnu. Fearing his death, Kamsa arrested Vasudeva and Devaki and chained them with iron shackles. Suspecting each of the children to be Vishnu, Kamsa killed them one after another because of the prophecy that Vishnu would kill him. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami in the notes of this verse has mentioned now Narada Muni gave Kamsa this information. This incident is described in the Harivamsha. Narada Muni went to see Kamsa by providence, and Kamsa received him very well. Narada therefore informed him that any one of the sons of Devaki might be Vishnu. Because Vishnu was to kill him, Kamsa should not spare any of the Devaki's children. Narada Muni advised. Narada's intention was that Kamsa, by killing the children, would increase his sinful activity so that Krishna would soon appear to kill him. Upon receiving the instructions of Narada Muni, Kamsa killed all the children of Devaki one after another. The word Agna Sankaya indicates that Lord Vishnu never takes birth, Ajan, and that he therefore appeared as Krishna, taking birth just like a human being. Manusim Tanumashritam. Kamsa attempted to kill all the babies born of Devaki and Vasudeva, although he knew that if Vishnu were born, he would not be killed. Actually, it came to pass that when Vishnu appeared as Krishna, Kamsa could not kill him. Rather, he foretold. It was he who killed Kamsa. One should know in truth how Krishna, who takes his birth transcendentally, acts to kill the demons, but is never killed. When one perfectly understands Krishna in this way, through the medium of Shastra, one becomes immortal, as the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tektva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji. So here you can see that how Krishna, due to his Leela, made sure that Narada appears, and Narada tells about to Kamsa that any of the children can be Vishnu, even though Narada Muni and of course even Kamsa knew that none of them actually can kill Krishna, but it was due to increasing of sins of Kamsa. So Krishna made this Leela so that Krishna can come faster and kill. And also we can see that Prabhupada has mentioned Janma Karma Cha Me Divya Evam Yeveti Tatvata Tattvadeham Punarjanma Naiti Mamiti Sada. So whoever knows the Janma and Karma, the pastimes of Lord Krishna, will not have to take this cycle of birth and death, and will reach back home to Godhead. Thank you, Prabhuji. Please add Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, a big change in the mind again, right? For Kamsa, and that's the quality of demonic people. We saw one switch was at the time of marriage. It was the chariot driver. The voice came again, completely turned, the mind completely turned and about to kill. In this case, he was about to, he was happy, he was joyful, everything was good. Suddenly Narada Muni, who may appear to be like a bad person here, that why was he wanted to kill, why he wanted the small children to be killed. Kamsa had left, Kamsa was nice, right? But we don't, Vaishnaveda Kriya Mudra Abhigyana Bhujai. We cannot understand the transcendental activities, but Acharya Sri Jiva Goswami is giving the purport, the reasons behind, multiple reasons. A devotee like Narada Muni is always, a Shuddha Bhakta is never working against the will of the Lord. A pure devotee, right? As we just read in the previous verse also. It is the duty of Krishna's devotees is to serve Krishna as he wants. So Narada Muni is certainly a very, very high class Vaishnava. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu, the 12 Mahajans, he's a great Mahajan. So he cannot do something which is not aligned with the will of God. So this is also the will of God, that he came and he kind of, devotees mentioned this point that he brought like a lotus, 8-petal lotus. Just imagine my hand like a lotus. So he said, okay, there's this petal lotus, first one, then first, second, third, like that. He rotated. Okay, which is 8th? If you start from here, then this becomes 8th. But if you start from here, then this becomes 8. If you start from here, so anywhere you start, so anything could be 8. So don't try. I know I've also heard that the demigods are appearing, so you better do something. And you are intelligent. I don't need to tell you everything. You are intelligent how to take care of the situation. So Narada Muni kind of left that seed, and boom, Kamsa's mind changed again. All the previous day, yesterday, we read that he had allowed Vasudeva and Devaki to go back home. And I had this question, at what point did he shackle them? Because we have seen that Krishna was born in the jail, in the Karagraha. So this is the point. After Narada Muni left, then fearing his death, Kamsa and Devaki were chained with iron shackles. And then one after the other, all the children were killed, because any one of them could be Vishnu. Narada Muni had told this point. So, this is the transcendental Leela of our Supreme Lord and his devotees. We'll go to the next one. Okay, who wants to read? Who hasn't got a chance? We're almost coming to the end of this chapter, so we'll complete this chapter today. Last few verses. Yes.
I can. Yes.
Yes,
Text 67. Mataram pitaram vratin sarvamsya shudrastata ghanantihi ashub tripolobdha rajanno prayasya bhuvi. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Kings greedy for sense gratification on this earth almost always kill their enemies indiscriminately. To satisfy their own whims, they may kill anyone, even their mothers, fathers, brothers, or friends. Purport: We have seen in the history of India that Aurangzeb killed his brother and nephews and imprisoned his father to fulfill political ambitions. There have been many similar instances, and Kamsa was the same type of king. Kamsa did not hesitate to kill his nephews and imprison his sister and his father. For demons to do such things is not astonishing. Nonetheless, although Kamsa was a demon, he was aware that Lord Vishnu cannot be killed, and thus he attained salvation. Even partial understanding of the activities of the Lord Vishnu makes one eligible for salvation. Kamsa knew a little about Krishna, that he could not be killed, and therefore he attained salvation, although he thought of Krishna as an enemy. What then is it to be said of one who knows Krishna perfectly from the description of Shastras like Bhagavad Gita? It is therefore the duty of everyone to read Bhagavad Gita and understand Krishna perfectly. This will make one's life successful. So very nice purport here by Prabhupada, and that Kamsa, like demons, who kills for his own sense gratification to fulfill his own satisfaction. But the difference here is Kamsa and other demons that is that Kamsa knew, and he was always in the fear that the Lord is coming to kill him. Though he'll be trying all his best, but he could not escape this, and though he's trying killing all the 8 child of the Devaki, 6 child actually, Prabhuji. But he knew that he will be killed, and that fear actually, that he know about Krishna's immortality. So that small knowing makes him gives him liberation, as Krishna said in Gita, Janma Karma Chame Dibbang. Who knows his birth and activities in this material world or in spiritual world, they'll be purified. So that's a great part by Prabhupada. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, bro. Hare Krishna. So here, Matrin, Pitrin, Bhratrin, for a demoniac purpose, there is no relationship. The only relationship is I, me, and mine. Right? And anything which interferes with one's sense gratification is kings greedy. You can just say people greedy for sense gratification kill their enemies indiscriminately. They can even kill their own brothers, and that's what we see so common: killing of blood brothers born from the same womb, killing each other for a little bit of more land. Hey, this land belongs to me. How dare you? Fighting in courts, killing each other over money, wealth, car, bungalow, as if whether one is the big Aurangzeb or big Babur or Akbar, no one took a tiny morsel of land with them. But this illusion is very deep-rooted. The next point is even little bit tinge of understanding of Krishna, gives salvation or different kinds of muktis. So Kamsa knew that Lord Vishnu cannot be killed. That's very, very iota of understanding of Lord. What to speak of one who regularly reads Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Baho bakiyam sthanakalakutam jigham saya apyayad api asadvi lebhe gatim dhatri muchitam tatonyam kamva dayalu sharanam rajima. When an evil, monstrous witch like Putana came with the poison, the very, very deadly poison, smeared on her breast to feed Krishna poison. But what Krishna saw? Oh, my mother has come to feed me milk. Ishwarasya bhavir bhaktir nalai aparadha alpaseva bahumani atma prayanta prasada. Krishna sees only the good in everyone. Right? So Krishna saw she has come to feed me milk like a mother and gave the position of a dhatri or a mother to Putana. Now the Acharya's comment, if an evil person who had come to kill Krishna got the position of a mother, what will be the destination of a pure devotee like Yashoda Mata, or someone who is favorably anukulyena Krishna, no shilanam bhakti uttama. We have to do favorable bhakti, not like Kamsa, not like inimical, or not like Putana. But the point is, even if someone does like that, gets such high destination, so how much more one will get if someone renders favorable devotional service, like how all of you are doing so nicely by reading, hearing, chanting, offering, etc. So therefore, we should try to understand what it's mentioning. It is a duty of everyone to read Bhagavad Gita and understand Krishna. This is the real success of life. That will make life successful. So this is the barometer of success. Any other comments anyone has in this text? Okay, this is the second last verse, 68. There's not chance and wants to read. We didn't get chance yesterday. Maybe we can read first. Wants to read. Sampada, want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. 668. Atmanam iha sanjatam jana pragrishna hatam mahasuram kalinimim yadubihi sa garutyata. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada In his previous birth, Kamsa had been a great demon named Kalanemi and been killed by Vishnu. Upon learning this information from Narada, Kamsa became envious of everyone connected with the Yadu dynasty. Purport: persons who are demons, enemies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are called asuras. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the asuras, because of their activity toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead, take birth after enmity toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead, take birth after birth in Asura families, and therefore glide down to the darkest hellish regions. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. So, this is the previous life of Kamsa. And I think Prabhu was explaining the other day about from the Garga Samhita, this point that how Kamsa was born. He was the Kalnemi in the previous life, who was also a demon. And upon learning this information, so what information is being referred to?
Him being killed by Vishnu.
Nice. Good. So in the, I don't know all the details to this story, but yeah, Kalnemi was killed by Vishnu, and in this birth also he'll be killed by Krishna or Vishnu. Any other devotees have any other comments here again? Last verse of this chapter, 69. Yes, Raghu Prabhu, you want to read?
Yeah, thank you. I can read. Hare Krishna, devotees. Text 69. Ugrasenam cha pita ram ya yadu bojan dap dipam swayam nigraya bubuje surasenan mahabalha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Kamsa, the most powerful son of Ugrasena, even imprisoned his own father, the king of the Yadu, Bhoja, and Andhaka dynasties, and personally ruled the state known as Surasena. The state known as Mathura was also included within the states known as Surasena. Okay, I think it's straightforward. So he's going about killing everyone. Already, he wants to take care of killing the Yadu dynasty because of what he heard from Narada about his previous life, and so he's killing all the different dynasties around him. Hare Krishna, back to you.
Thank you. So he basically put his own father also in the prison of Ugrasena. So there are some additional notes in this. So maybe we will read the sections what we read today, and then read because it's fresh in our mind. So we'll read the notes pertinent to that section first, and then we will go read the other notes also. These are additional, I guess, commentaries from different acharyas. So let's read. Let's see if we can read from read from here. Okay, yes, Srikant Prabhu, want to read this paragraph in the Vishnu Kosha?
Sure. Hare Kṛṣṇa, everyone. Then Pranam. In the Vishwakosha dictionary, the word garbha is explained. Garbha bruni arbakhe kukshava itya adi.
When Kamsa was about to kill Devaki, Vasudeva wanted to
dissuade him.
Dissuade him by
diplomacy
of Sama and Veda. Sama means
pacifying.
Pacify. Vasudeva wanted to pacify Kamsa
by indicating
relations, gain welfare, identity and glorification.
Reference to these five concerns constitutes Sama and Vasudeva's presentation of fear in two situations. In this life and the next is called Veda. Thus, Vasudeva used both Sama and Veda to pacify Kamsa. Praising Kamsa's qualification was glorification, and praising him as a descendant of Bhoja Vamsha appealed to Sambandha relationship. Speaking of your sister was an appeal to identify. Speaking about, can you scroll a little bit? Speaking about, killing a woman raised questions about fame and welfare, and arousing fear of the sinful act of killing one's sister during her marriage ceremony in an aspect of Veda. We should stop here.
Yeah, you can complete this.
Okay, sure.
This paragraph, sorry.
Okay. The Bhoja dynasty refers to those who were simply interested in sense gratification and were therefore not very aristocratic. Another meaning of Bhoja is fighting. These were indications of defamation of Kamsa. When Vasudeva addressed Kamsa as Dina Vatsala, this was excessive praise. Kamsa would accept calves as a form of revenue from his poor constituents, and therefore he was called a Dina Vatsala. Vasudeva knew very well that he could not by force rescue Devaki from the imminent danger. Devaki was actually the daughter of Kamsa's uncle, and therefore she is described as Shrut, meaning relative. It is stated that Kamsa refrained from killing his close relationship, Devaki, because if he had killed her, a great fight would have ensued among the other members of the family. Kamsa refrained from provoking this great danger of a family fight, for it would have caused many people to lose their lives. Thank you. Back to you.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for. Isn't it so deep? This is in connection to when Vasudeva was trying to protect Devaki. He used all these words. Oh, you are the glories of Bhojavamsa. But this kind of additional details kind of really, I was thinking that give so much additional points. We were thinking that, hey, is Vasudeva lying by speaking Dina Vatsala? Is Vasudeva lying by speaking other words of glory? The answer is not. And the acharyas give, the hidden meanings. So each word could have multiple meanings. When they're talking about the word Dina Vatsala, in his mind he's thinking, well, he's extracting so much taxes from the poor people. But the Dina Vatsala, other meaning is also that you are friend to the Dina, the protector. So in one way he's not lying, but the common meaning is what Kamsa would not get. For example, this is said, if we have to say someone Gada, this is Gauranga Prabhu was mentioning, you can mention, oh, you are Vaishakha Nandana. So Vaishakha Nandana, that person will say, oh, it looks like you're glorifying me. But Vaishakha Nandana is basically a donkey. His name is Vaishakha Nandana. So it may sound very nice, but so in short, Vasudeva did not lie either. At the same time, it appeared to Kamsa as glorification. And Vasudeva used the principles of Sama and Bheda, because Danda was out of question, because the sword is in the hand of Kamsa. There's no question of fighting there, right? Any wrong move could have led to a great havoc. And Dham is also out of question, because Kamsa was not a poor person. He was also a great king. So the only options left were the Sama, that is the pacifying words, and there are 5 ways of Sama, as mentioned here: relations, gain, welfare, identity, and glorifications. Relations, gain, welfare, identity, glorification. So nice points we can think about and try to use if it is appropriate, because it is the best way of actually any kind of difficulty, any conflict resolution, any relationship issues. The best way is peacefully those things are sorted out, right? If there is a disagreement between, let's say, 2 devotees or husband or wife, they should be peacefully sorted out, right? That we are Vaishnavas, we are trying to be Vaishnavas. Let's not fight like cats and dogs. Even if there is disagreement, will Prabhupada be happy? Relationship. Will Prabhupada be happy? Will Gurudev be happy to see this if we fight? No, this is very trivial. This will not, Krishna's heart would pain to see us fight. Let's not take small things and let's not make those things into big things. So very peacefully, in a very pacifying way, for everyone's welfare. Will welfare happen? Will gain? What will happen if we continue to do fight? Will anything good come out of all this? No. So in this way, this is the best way of actually conflict resolution or gaining trust, building relationships, etc. So we can remember these 5 things. This is first time actually I'm reading or getting to know these points. Any other thoughts? So let's read more about Kalanemi. Who was Kalanemi? Yes. Who is not a chance?
Me, Prabhu.
Yes, please, Mataji.
Okay, Dandat Pranam devotees. Formerly, an asura named Kalanemi had 6 sons, named Hamsa, Suvikrama, Kratha, Damana, Ripu, Mardana, and Krodahanta. They were known as the Shad Garbhas or 6 Garbhas, and they were all equally powerful and expert in military affairs. These Shad Garbhas gave up the association of Hiranyakashipu, their grandfather, and underwent great austerities to satisfy Lord Brahma, who, upon being satisfied, agreed to give them whatever benediction they might desire. When asked by Lord Brahma to state what they wanted, the Shad Garbhas replied, "Dear Lord Brahma, if you want to give us a benediction, give us the blessing that we will not be killed by any demigod, Mahoraga, Yaksha, Gandharva, Pati, Siddha, Charana, or human being, nor by great sages who are perfect in their penances and austerities." Brahma understood their purpose and fulfilled their desire. But when Hiranyakashipu came to know of these events, he was very angry at his grandsons. "You have given up my association and have gone to worship Lord Brahma," he said, "and therefore I no longer have any affection for you. You have tried to save yourself from this. You have tried to save yourself from the hands of the demigods. But I curse you in this way. Your father will take birth as Kamsa and kill all of you, because you will take birth as sons of Devaki." Because of this curse, the grandsons of Hiranyakashipu had to take birth from the womb of Devaki and be killed by Kamsa, although he was previously their father. This description is mentioned in the Harivamsha, Vishnu Purana, 2nd chapter, according to the comments of the Vaishnava Toshani. The son of Devaki, known as Kirtiman, was the third incarnation of it's moving a lot. In this first incarnation was the third incarnation. In his first incarnation, he was known as Smara and was the son of Marichi, and later he became the son of Kalanemi. This is mentioned in the histories. An additional verse in this chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is accepted by the Madhavacharya Sampradaya, represented by Vijayadhwaja Tirtha. This verse is as follows: "Atha Kamsam upagamya Narada Brahma Nandanaha ekantam upanshangamya vakyam etad uvachaha." Atha, in this way, Kamsam, unto Kamsa, upagamya, after going, Narada, the great sage Narada, Brahmananda, Nandanaha, who is the son of Brahma, ekantam, upasangamya, after going to a very solitary place, vakyam, the following instructions, etad, this, uvacha, said, ha, in the past. Translation: thereafter, by Srila Prabhupada ki jai, thereafter Narad, the mental son of Lord Brahma, approached Kamsa and said, in a very solitary place, informed him of the following news. The great saint Narada descended from the...
We'll kind of cover till here. We're reading the additional notes on a different topic. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. I'll give it back to you. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you.
Want to share anything from the previous context?
Not really, Prabhu. I just came from the distribution. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just listening your class a few minutes ago.
Thank you, Mataji. These are the supplement notes. So who was Kalanemi's father? Anyone knows?
Hiranyakashipu.
Hiranyakashipu. Why did Hiranyakashipu give curse to the 6 sons of Kalanemi, or his grandsons? We just read.
Because they went to Brahma, Lord Brahma, to ask for benediction, I guess.
Yeah. He said, well, I'm all the demigods are my servants, and you're going to him. You fools. I curse you that you will die of by your own father will be the cause of your death. You are like bad kind of, you're not good descendants. You're not glorifying my good name. I have controlled all these demigods and you're approaching them. So evil people cannot see others' glorification, right?
Plus, Brahma is the person who gave him the benediction, right? I mean, Hiranyakashipu was nobody before Brahma gave him the benediction.
Yeah, that's also a very important point. So, but the demoniac don't want anyone else to get what they have, or even to go there. So the evil influence. So that was the reason behind these 6 Shadgarbhas. The other reason also, which the Acharyas mentioned, the Shadgarbhas represent lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion. When the 6 evil influences are destroyed, then only Krishna appears in the heart of a devotee. Until these vices are present, then the Supreme Lord will not appear in the heart of a devotee. That's real Janmashtami, that's real birth of the Lord. So, the son of Devaki, known as Kirtiman, was the 3rd incarnation. In the 1st incarnation, he was known as Smara, the son of Marichi. And later, he became the son of Kalanemi. So this also different kalpas, different incarnations. So quite complex to understand how these dynamics work. But different understanding to the same point. So we'll read the last, yes, we have time to read. Okay, I think 2 more paragraphs, so someone can quickly read these. We pause. Was not yet right. Surya Kumari Mataji, you want to read? Just join, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, please. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Is it from the great saint Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. The great saint Narada descended from the heavenly planets to the forest of Mathura and sent his messenger to Kamsa. When the messenger approached Kamsa and informed him of Narada's arrival, Kamsa, the leader of Asuras, was very happy and immediately came out of his palace to receive Narada, who was as bright as the sun, as powerful as fire, and free from all tinges of sinful activities. Kamsa accepted Narada as his guest, offered him respectful obeisances, and gave him a golden seat, brilliant like the sun. Narada was a friend of the king of heaven, and thus he told Kamsa, the son of Ugrasena, my dear hero, you have satisfied me with the proper reception, and therefore I shall tell you something secret and confidential. While I was coming here from Nandakanana through the Chaitra Ratha forest, I saw a great meeting of the demigods who followed me to Sumeru Parvata. We traveled through many holy places, and finally we saw the holy Ganges. While Lord Brahma was consulting the other demigods at the top of the Sumeru hill, I was also present with my stringed instrument, the Veena. I shall tell you confidentially. Can you scroll it, Prabhuji, please? Confidentially, that the meeting was held just to plan to kill the Asuras, headed by you. You have a younger sister named Devaki, and it is a fact that her eighth son will kill you. Harivamsha Vishnu Purva. No one can blame Narada ji for encouraging Kamsa to kill the sons of Devaki. The saint Narada is always a well-wisher for human society, and he wanted the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna to descend to this world as soon as possible, so that the society of demigods would be pleased and would see Kamsa and his friends killed by Krishna. Kamsa would also attain salvation from his nefarious activities, and this too would very much please the demigods and their followers. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura remarks in this connection that Narada Muni sometimes did things that were beneficial to the demigods and the demons. Simultaneously, Sri Veera Raghava Acharya in his commentary has included the following half verse in this regard. Asura Sarva Evaita Loka Padrava Karinaha. Asuras are always disturbing elements for the human society. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 10th canto, first chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled The Advent of Lord Krishna's Introduction. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you so much, Mataji. We're so blessed to have you today. Thank you. So these are some additional notes by Acharyas. So I think we discussed this point that Narada Muni should not be blamed. And we also discussed some of the places where Nandakana gardens and the upper planets. And we have to discuss in Canto 5, at the top of the Sumeru Parvat is Amravati, as mentioned here, where it's a meeting place of the demigods. So we have read that Amravati also on top of the Sumeru hill. It's like their second home. So they do some meetings there, looks like. So basically, Narada Muni transcendentally shared this news. Hey, I'm telling you, Kamsa, don't tell this to anyone. This is very, very confidential, top secret. That the demigods are coming to kill the demons. So in short, he just wanted that the hidden reason was that the Lord should come. Because if Kamsa, if the villain who's supposed to act like a villain, acts like a hero, very kind and gentle and benevolent, then how will the movie go forward? Isn't it? Right? Hey, you're supposed to, your role is to kill. Your role is to be the bad guy. You are trying to be the good guy. Don't be the role is. So the director or the assistant director reminds him, don't forget your role. So, any last points, comments? So we have read some of the notes. We have not read all of the notes. We read what was relevant to today. We read about Kal, Nami, and the 6 children. We will read the remainder of the notes tomorrow. These are additional points which will help us to understand this chapter better. Okay, so we'll kind of take a pause here and continue tomorrow. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki Jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki Jai, Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripasindubhya Evacha Pasitaram Pavanebhyo Vaishnaveभ्यो Namo Namaः. Thank you, Haribol.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.